So tell me about yourself.
Well, I am a junior at Oklahoma State University. I'm majoring in hotel and restaurant administration.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I work at Great Wolf Lodge in Texas. I'm a lifeguard.
Oh, that's fun.
Yes. Well, I guess that's about it about me.
Okay. Cool. So why are you here today?
Well, I just recently my parents got divorced.
Okay.
And it's just been a lot to deal with.
Alright. So how has that affected you?
Just in general. In general, it's just been very hard, like having to choose between two parents. Really, it's like one's telling you one thing and the other's telling you another, and you want to believe both of your parents, but it's sometimes just not an option to do that, and it gets really difficult.
Right. Has that affected your school work in any way?
Yeah, it really has. With the distraction at home, it's a whole lot to deal with, and a whole lot of stuff, just kind of taking over my mind and my choices and my thoughts right now, and it's really hard to be able to focus on something as almost as silly as school when stuff like that's going on.
Right. So you just see school as not as important as things going on at home.
As family and just things that need to be dealt with.
Right. So are you an only child?
Yes.
Okay. So you don't really have anybody to talk to about it or go through it with you?
Right. And that's kind of why I'm here today. Just to have somebody to just talk it out with.
Right.
Just not having siblings or anything, it makes it difficult because, anybody that you talk to is going to be taking one parent or the other side instead of just talking to you about how you feel about the situation.
Right. So, who do you live with when you go home? What is home, and who is at your home?
I live with my mom and my stepdad.
Okay. Do you get along with your stepdad?
It kind of depends on the day.
Okay.
He's a really good guy. It's just there's a lot of baggage there that is just hard to deal with, I guess.
Right. What is your relationship like with your dad?
I see him a lot. It's gotten better since the divorce and everything. At one point, he stopped talking to me, so that was really difficult. But he did start talking to me again, and things have been a lot better. We never really talked that out, though, but it's okay.
Okay. And how's your relationship with your mom?
My mom is good, but we used to be best friends, and then when all of that started going down, it just really tore our relationship apart. Okay. So just like healing from that is, needed.
Have you been able to talk to your mom about it and work through that?
Not really. She doesn't really receive what I have to say very well.
Okay.
When I talk to her, it just turned into like a knockdown, smacked out fight.
Okay. So she just doesn't. You guys didn't really talk about the issues that arose from the divorce. It just kind of got swept under the rug and just kind of forgotten.
Yes.
Okay. So how does it make you feel that you haven't been able to talk those things out with your parents?
It makes me feel very trapped. Like there's not a solution.
Okay.
To the problem, because I feel like the only way to come to a conclusion or to come to an understanding is to talk about it, and the fact that they just don't want to talk through those things, they just want to forget that they happened because they're painful.
Right.
And the fact that when we do bring it up to talk about it, it turns into a bigger fight. I just feel like there's no real solution that'll ever happen. Okay. And that's very confining.
Right. Do your parents get along, or do they even communicate at all, or is it?
No, they don't. Yeah, it was a really messy divorce. Like, it wasn't a clean cut by any means. But they don't talk to each other at all. And when they do talk about each other, it's always really terrible things.
Okay.
And that's really hard because, they're both people that I love.
Right.
But, anyway. But, yeah, no, they don't talk to each other at all. They talk through me, so I'm kind of the messenger there.
Do you think the things that your parents say about each other affect your relationship with the other parent?
I wouldn't say that because I just kind of try to ignore that. I'm sure it does to an extent, subconsciously,
Okay.
But another thing is I do know that when I'm closer to one parent, I'm farther from the other.
Okay.
And I don't know why that is. But when I'm closer to my mom, we get along really great and our relationship is good. And that always affects my relationship with my dad negatively. Mm-hmm. Just because I'll be talking about my mom more, or I'll be like telling a funny story about something that she did, and that will make him angry.
Okay. All right. So he just doesn't like to hear, or vice versa, they don't really like to hear about what's going on with the other one.
Right.
So I can imagine that that's hard to do that.
Definitely.
Okay. So I think what we can do, maybe if you're comfortable with this, is maybe invite one of your parents to our next session, and maybe we can sit down and talk about some of the things that you've been going through and see if maybe we can resolve those issues. Does that sound good to you?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.